like, and action.
Well, this isn't our usual setup. You've got two boss babes, the owner of Indoor Gardens and the owner of Golden Roses, for our first ever podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to Indoor Gardens. My name is Jacqui, your host this evening, and things look a little different. This isn't our regular live, it's our first ever podcast. I wish I could give you a name. We don't have one yet, but we're gonna get there by the end of this podcast. I was gonna say live.
I know that one, the period.
But we got it. All right. So for those who don't know me, my name is Jacqui. I am the owner here at Indoor Gardens. We have just completed 2 full years in business. What? We're so excited to bring something so different to our community that really you see more in Austin and New York and other places that Laredo's always behind. So this time we're not. We're here, and we're here for our community to grow together. But what I wanted to do was talk a little bit about businesses. I want to talk about my experience as a small business owner, how I got to 2 years, how hard it is to get to 2 years, but how easy it is to also overcome a lot of the challenges that we do not speak about. And in order to do that, you need friends. You need business friends. You need people on your level. You need people that are also thriving, that recognize the struggle. And today's our first podcast guest ever is Miss Sandra, and I'm so happy to have her, guys. Her brand is amazing. Her herself is such an inspiration, and I'm so excited to bring her to you guys to talk about how amazing everything that she does, aside from her business, her job, and just being a queen boss babe. So welcome, Miss Sandra.
Thank you for having me, Jacqui. I know, like a little. If you all know, iCarly, remember the remote? I'm like, or am I too old? I'm like, please.
Did not come with the prize.
Steven.
We do have one.
That'd be so cool. I'm like,
it just doesn't do the
if you know iCarly, I'm like, I hope that I'm not too old and people still know what iCarly is. They did a reboot, but
it didn't hit.
You didn't?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I already passed it.
I actually did like it. It was cute. Yeah, the originals would count. The originals always what counts. But yes, how Jacqui was saying, my name is Sandra Gil. I am the owner and CEO of Golden Roses, which is a small jewelry business here in Laredo, Texas. And basically what we strive for is to make affordable jewelry, but also keeping up with the trends and of course the overload of what fashion really is. I am a huge fashion girly. I've been into purses, into shoes, into jeans, into anything that you name it, anything that's fashion, anything that's Vogue material, I am a sucker for. Period. If you know, you know, Madonna. I'm gonna do a lot of references to like pop culture because I'm a huge pop culture girly.
And signs, like just seeing you walk through a room or watching her content, guys, you will see it. Like she is literally like a walking magazine.
Oh my goodness, that's so sweet.
Like Kim K, Latina version.
Period. No, just kidding. No, but yes. So my focus is really on the fashion aspect. I try to bring in trends, but I also try to bring in unique pieces that maybe we won't see in typical stores or in typical chains, such as, you know, not to hate, but Target, Amazon. You know, you see a lot of the pieces that are curated for a specific public, but in Golden Roses, I want to make it more unique. I want to make it more specific to that individual, and I also thrive on honesty. If something does not feel good, then it's not meant for you, and if something does feel good, then that means that piece is really meant for you. But those are just basically some of the things that I really try to keep in mind in building and continuing to grow Golden Roses.
Oh, that's amazing. And it shines, guys. Literally everything she just said is like, I see it. So as she's talking, I'm like, yup, check, yup. I saw that post, girl. Yeah, I see you.
I love that.
And that is so hard to do as a business owner, is always have that connection to like your true values and make sure that like is emulated in what you do every day, right? So how did you get, like, what was that like aha moment that you were like, I want to open a business and I'm going to call it Golden Roses? How did it all get started?
Oh, I love when people ask me that question because I think it's one of my favorite questions to answer. So even to like bring it back to why it's named Golden Roses, I love this story. So My dad's favorite band was Guns N' Roses.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Obviously, I'm like, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you're a true rock and roll fan, you know, I have some people that are like, Guns N' Roses? And I'm like, yes, of course.
We vibe. That's it. That's how you know you got a friend.
Exactly. So I really like building that connection, especially to the older audience, right? That maybe some younglings will be like, I've never heard of them. And so I'll be like, oh, Sweet Child of Mine. Or like, oh, November Rain. And like throwing little songs. And they're like, oh, yeah, like I have heard. That one. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, no. Yeah. But yeah, it's my dad's favorite band, to the extent that my brother's name is Axel, after Axl Rose. Oh, wow. So originally I wanted to name it something with my brother because I don't know if people know, but that brother has autism. He was diagnosed at the age of 3. So to me, he's always been like my angel, my greatest inspiration, and just my person, right? My best friend. And he's nonverbal. So it definitely, you know, I wanted to basically pay tribute to what he represents in my life, which is something that's so unique that not a lot of people go through and understand. And so I wanted to transition that over to like a business type of thing. So I kept thinking like, oh, Axel Gold or something with Axel. And then my little brother, so I have 2 brothers, Axel and Caleb, and my little brother was at the table with me and we were kind of thinking, and he's like, oh my gosh, like it would be so cool if you name it like after Guns N' Roses because dad named him after Guns N' Roses. I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't know. At that time, I was still thinking of selling random jewelry, like silver included, you know, beaded stuff. Like I didn't really have like a specific focus. And then I was like, you know, it would be so unique if I only sell gold jewelry. Like that would, I think, really bring it up a notch, right? So we were like, oh, like guns and jewelry or you know, and I was like, wait, no, time out, no. And then that's when it became like Golden Roses. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Like that's the name. It's beautiful. I feel like I really, you know, it represents me as like a full thing. And the cool part about it is that my dad, ever since I was little, he dedicated Sweet Child of Mine to me. So that was even my song for my quince dance.
No.
Yes. So it was super unique because you've never really seen like a rock and roll song being used for a quince.
Yeah. It's always like some
like,
country, like
tempo de vals, yeah, or like whatever, right? And I'm like, okay, so you won. But with this one, I really felt like that connection was really with one of my values, which is family, right? And obviously I've had my support of my mom, of my dad, and I've really seen how that was like so special. And really to like even continue this going a little bit more. So it was like a random idea. Me and my boyfriend at the time, now husband, we went to San Antonio to visit one of my friends, which is, her name's Nicole, and Jacqui knows her, and which is so funny. That's a shout out to Nicole.
And we'll talk about Nicole.
That was so funny. I'm like, just wait, guys, wait. But we went to go visit her for like a little weekend, and it was just like a very turbulating type of moment in my life. I was very like lost in where I wanted to go. Long story short, I was originally going to go to the State Trooper Academy. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's completely different. Yeah. And so I was getting ready, and then I was like, there's something telling me that I can't, like, I don't like it. I don't want to go. And luckily, my husband was very supportive, and he's like, no, like, you know, whatever you feel is right for you. So I ended up coming back. I ended up being like, well, what do I do now? I had quit my previous job. Yeah. So it was like I have nothing. The world was still for me. And when you really think about it, I started working at 15. So it was like
I was a bag-ready chicken girl.
No, literally. I worked at my dance studio. Shout out to LSCD. If you know, you know. But yeah, so it was like a very minimal job, part-time. Like my parents still paid for everything, but like I still wanted still wanted my own money. Yeah, like I'm like my little Sephora hauls or whatever. Dude, I don't even remember what I was spending on when I was 15 and 16. Literally, dude, me and my best friend getting the chokers or getting little plushie, like nada que ver, dude. Oh my god! And like I should have started saving. If I knew inflation was gonna be this bad, I would have started saving the minute I got my first job. but I was just super lost, and then I had stopped school because also I don't know if a lot of people know this, I am also doing my PhD, but I stopped, period. It's gonna be Dr. Golden Rose. Just kidding. No, just kidding.
Zoom into that.
Zoom in. No, but I had stopped because I wanted to go to the academy. Right. So when I stopped, it was like a complete 360. Like, I'm like, what am I doing with my life type of thing. Everything was spinning. I was super anxious all the time. I was like, what am I gonna do with my life? Like, I'm at the time when I feel like you're going through that, you just feel like you're so old, you're never gonna accomplish anything. Like, what are your goals? Where are you going? Like, I just feel like everything just kind of spins for you. You really don't understand your path, right? So whatever, we went to San Antonio. We went to a little market, which was super unexpected. We didn't even know it was going on. And I was telling, my husband, I would love to do something like this. This is so fun. This is so cute. Like, I've never seen this. This is so much fun. And he was like, oh my gosh, you should. Like, you're such a people person. Like, you're so energetic. Like, you'd literally love this. Like, you get to talk. Yeah. Like, if you know me, I'm a huge talker. I'm a huge yapper. So it was beautiful, right? It was like perfect. And so literally on our way back, which is the 2 hours and a half, 2 hours, 2 hour drive, we literally came up with everything. Like, we were like, okay, this is kind of be the logo, this is the color, this is blah, blah, this blah, blah, blah. No, literally in 2 hours, we planned everything. And 2 weeks later, GNR was open. There you go. So it was literally something that I say, like, it was planted in my heart by God. It was meant to be. Like, if it didn't happen, I don't know where I would be right now.
What would have happened had you taken off? Exactly. Like, the follow through on that, and look where you are.
Right? No, just kidding. Shout out to the troopers. They do so much for us. Like, honestly, long live the troopers. But it's not meant for me, right? Yeah. Those people are out there sacrificing, their time, their lives for us, which, again, shout out to.
I understand that, girl. I was literally studying criminal justice in college, right out of college. I was like, I'm gonna be an investigator. I know how to do investigating stuff. I can figure anything out. Like, women are the investigators of the world. We are. So real. I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, okay, well, I have to go to the police academy and I'm gonna have to do this. Yeah. Girls, I started taking the classes and I'm like, yeah, I like it, but like, you start feeling like the love isn't there. Like, something was a brewing that it wasn't it. Exactly. And then it's just kind of funny how, like, life puts you in certain positions where, like, I look back, I was a bartender for so many years. But because of my bartending for so many years, my communication skills enhanced. Exactly. And I actually got a job with a Fortune 500 company where they were like, you were a bartender? Like, so you can communicate. Like, that's good. Okay. And then even local businesses, like, when I would interview, they were like, oh, you were a bartender? Like, that would intrigue them, not turn them off. It'd just be like, okay, like, you can hold yourself. You can communicate to different types of people, and it's crazy how everything. Then I started, like, from working as a bartender, I start seeing how the liquor distributors work. Yeah. And then I started understanding, like, oh, there's marketing, there's, all these different parts of a business. Yeah. And then I jump into a beer distributor role. And then I was like, well, I'd never really done sales. So then I ended up at Sprint selling cell phones, girl. And then so everything in my life, every job I've ever had, no matter how small it is, starting at HEB with customer service, that is literally the most crucial part of everything, right? And I think all of that just sort of like spun out to like get me to where, like, it's crazy how they say, like, you're in a path, like, just take it. It's for a reason. Later on, it'll make sense. But if you ignore that aha moment, like, oh, what would have happened? All of that work would have been for nothing had you turned around and gotten on that plane. Like, exactly. Right?
100%. And I'm so happy that you bring customer service into the mix, because I feel like you really do have to have the heart for it. Yeah. I hear a lot of people saying, like, I hate people, like, or I hate retail. And that's valid, right? Yeah. Like, you don't have to love it. You don't have to have a heart for it, but you do have to have a heart for people. Right. There's so many different personalities. People are going through so many different things that you don't even know, right? You might be having, you might be having the best day of your life, but in another, like, fraction of a person, that person is having the worst day of their life. Yeah. So you really got to understand, like, I need to deal with respect. I need to deal with kindness. And sometimes those people are not going to reciprocate that. Right. You know, you're gonna have those people that are like
just cold.
And are mean, unfortunately. And again, I feel like at the beginning it was something that I didn't want to take to heart. You know, like, okay, they're being mean, or like, oh, they're questioning me, or like, oh, like, but what do I do? And then you end up learning, like, you know what, it is what it is. I'm going to answer to the best of my ability. And if they don't want to understand, that's a them problem, not a me problem. I know my business is good. I know I did good. As long as I didn't disrespect or I didn't.
You take care of your brand.
You take care of your brand.
Yeah. And I've seen that. Like, honestly, Indoor Gardens has been open for 2 years. And I want to say that in the entire 2 years that we've been open, I'm going to knock on this wood. I know it's real. I have had one customer come in, and it wasn't, I don't think she was intentionally being rude, and it goes back to your point on like big box stores. Like, she walked in and she's like, I could get this cheaper somewhere else. I could go over here and get it cheaper. I could go over here and get it cheaper. And then she starts talking to us and she starts realizing, like, you're getting an experience here. Like, and that is like the number one thing that like my team knows, is that no matter how people come in, I want to see them walk out with a smile. I want them to feel confident when they walk out, that what they have, they're going to take care of, to know that they have a support system. Because I always tell my customers, like, if something doesn't look right, call me. Like, don't wait till it's a toy, girl, but call me. If you know, you know. But we do tell them, like, don't hesitate. Like, we are here for you. And I think them having that support system, knowing that there's that support in the back of it, like if anything happens, I can always reach out without hesitation, that enhances the experience. And it goes back to like the importance of customer service and why it's so crucial, especially as a local small business being attacked by all these big box stores that can get it. You can get it like cheaper, but are you giving somebody, are you experiencing something in person that makes you feel some kind of way? Or are you going to take it home and be like, well, now what do I do with it? Where do I put it? What do I do? I have to research and take the time, versus having somebody already know and help you, right?
No, 100%.
It is crazy. You mentioned your husband.
Yes.
And I think that and not everybody has a support system when it comes down to this. I've seen businesses, like business owners, that don't have that support system. But I loved that you said that, because I literally told my husband one day, I was like, so like, I walked into this plant shop. The lady said she'd help me figure it out. What do you think? He's like, what do you need? Like, girl, even the podcast, he's like, when do you want to do it? Like, just, you need me to get, I got the kids, just go. Like, if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. Like, and man, shout out to our hubbies.
Shout out to our hubbies. Love you so much.
Oh, wait, I have a button for that. I'll put it on the stage. Put it on the mic. They get a round of applause. But it really does help when you have that somebody behind you to sort of like be that support. Because I don't know how many times, girl, I cried like coming home, like, I'm gonna have to shut down. Like, I have to close. I can't do it. Like, because I jumped in early on with a brick and mortar. Like, I didn't have a chance to build a clientele. And that was scary, because it's like, rent's coming. Like, you either pay it or you get out. And I'm like, what do I do with all these friends? Exactly. What am I going to do? Live in a jungle? Like, but yeah, to have that somebody, like, when you get home, that's like, hey, you're stressed, but you can find a solution. Go, sit down. I'll handle life for us. Go figure it out.
That's beautiful.
Go figure it out.
That's so amazing.
So yeah, that was, honestly, the men be truly a blessing.
No, they are. Like,
and then especially, ours are,
No,
but and we say that too, because both of us are business owners, but we also have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So how is your balancing your full-time? What is your full-time? Like, let's tell people what your full-time.
Hey, so my full-time is actually being a professor. So like I said, I do have an educational background. I got my double major in criminal justice and psychology. I graduated in 2020, and then I started my master's that same year, I guess, 2020, and then I graduated 2022 with my master's in criminal justice, and right now I'm doing my PhD. So yes, that's my full time, and I honestly love it. It's so amazing. I love that I get to teach, right? I feel like It always goes back to it. Like, I knew I did want to do something in criminal justice. That's one of my biggest passions in life. I love, fighting for what's right. I love the justice behind it. I believe in victims. I'm a huge victim supporter, and I'm a huge evaluator of the criminal justice system, especially the way America's going now. And the way it's been, it's a historical thing, and I'm not going to get into it, obviously, because if you do take one of my lectures, like take police systems and practices, period, teach them. But yeah, that's like one of my biggest passions in life, and I feel like that stemmed from a very early age, right? Like watching the shows and being like, oh my gosh, I'm so intrigued by this. And like, I remember I would read books in high school, the shows.
At night, right? They were always playing all night.
I would watch them with my mom. I would watch CSI Miami, and they'd be so cool, and or Law and Order, and I'd be like, oh,
just Lifetime.
No, literally, of true stories that actually happen. So I'm a very hardcore advocate for anything having to do with the criminal justice system, and so transitioning over to both sides, they're very extremes, right? So you have to evaluate everything that's going on in America, because everything, unfortunately, is tied to the criminal justice system one way or another. And then having like a total change in business. I never studied business. I never studied marketing. I never studied sales, anything like that. So everything I've learned, and a lot of people tell me that. A lot of people think like, oh, you got your degree in business. And I'm like, oh, no, really, I did the complete opposite, actually. Actually, let me tell you.
In the fire.
Yes, luckily, I had the experience that my mom worked in retail for so many years, and she had her own boutique, and, she's always been a very business-oriented person. Yeah. So when I first started the idea, she was like, okay, do this, do that. Like, she gave me kind of like an outline. Yeah. And I was like, okay, perfect.
Back to the support system.
Exactly, back to the support system, which again, I think we're very lucky to have people like that. And like you said, a lot of people don't have that, unfortunately. And in a way, I feel like that makes or breaks you.
Yeah. And that's why it's important to have like friends, like a friendship like this, like another business buddy, like somebody that could be like, and that for me, that was that, like, because my mom owned the business when I was younger. My dad, my family owned the Gregory's motorcycle shop on San Bernardo. So I grew up in a motorcycle shop, girl. Like I saw sales, but I never did it until I got to like later in life. Like I was able to understand like the actual point of needing to go through a sale, but I saw it all the time. My mom was a good salesman. My mom would sell motorcycles. My dad was selling motorcycles to Mexico. Like my family they were business people. Like the driving school, it's my aunt, like the Smart Start, Gregory Smart Start was my other aunt. Like my two uncles with motorcycles. Like it was just business. That's all I knew. But then it was like, now I have to do it. But I wanted to do it on my own.
Exactly.
Like I wanted, so there were
put your own
times
twist to it.
Yeah, like, but also for them not to be like, oh, it's because she's her family. Like, no, I did it like with my married name. I did it like I sat there like so many nights in the shop just like, how am I going to make this work? And my neighbor, Antojitos, at the time, Lupe, he would literally pick me up and he'd be like, stop crying, get in the car, let's go. Aww. And he would go like, take me downtown and he's like, let's go find some stuff. Maybe you can make something. Let's go see if we can find something you could read. Like, he would just take me. He's like, stop crying, girl. That's awesome. So it was a blessing to have, even though I had all this family and I didn't want to use them because I'm terca. Yeah. But I was like, I had that buddy, like that friend that I could use.
Sometimes they're not even business oriented. They're just regular friends being like, you got it, right? One of my best friends, her name is Krista. Shout out to my baby. I love her. We've been best friends since 6th grade, right? So we met when we were 11 and now we're 27. We both got married. We both, got our own places. We literally went to TAMIU together. We did everything together. And she's a special ed teacher. So I feel like, bless her soul, honestly, shout out to all the special ed teachers. Yeah. You all are amazing. I cannot stress that enough. I owe everything to them. They're a huge, I guess, pillar in the community for special education. Yeah. And basically, even though she didn't come from like a business background, I mean, her grandma owns a business too, but like, she herself is not like, she doesn't have a business, but she was always so supportive. Like, even if I sent her like pictures, she'll be like, no, this one looks better. Or like, if I'm like, oh, like, what do you think about this? And, she's always like trying to give me the best advice that she can. So I feel like even if friends are not in the same areas as you can always like kind of count on those people that will tell you the truth or their opinion no matter what.
Yeah.
So I definitely do love that about her, that she's very honest and straight to the point, like, no, yes, maybe, think about it, type of thing.
It's good to, like, even though, like you said, even though it's not like, you know, like a spouse or like sometimes even family, because those situations sometimes are rough, but to have the right people that have the right mindset around you is super helpful, whether they have experience or not, just for them to put you in the right headspace to keep going. Like when I opened Indoor Gardens, like the company I was working for was going through a restructure where they were literally like announced that there was going to be layoffs, and we had no idea who was getting laid off. So I was like, well, if they're going to lay me off, like I need something else. And I was like, I'm tired of working for like I don't want my life to be dependent on somebody else's decisions. So then I was like, you know what? Like I'm going to prepare myself. If they're going to let me go, like I'm going to take off running. Like I'm going to take my severance and build something, you know? And then I got promoted in the process.
And
I got promoted. Like I really, really thought that was like, I was done. I had even applied for another job so that I could still kind of get the shop stronger. But no, like it was a complete surprise. But everybody that I worked with, that worked with me, we all were from all over Texas. So we were always on the phone, like keeping each other like awake because we drove so much. And they would say like, no, girl, like call and get your license right. Like you're just driving, like you can make the phone call, like get, you know, you're getting compliance, like get everything that I needed, right?
100%.
So when I was on these long drives, I was working, like I was building my business, you know, like and to have those people, what, even though they had no idea, they were just like, you're onto something, you're onto something, don't stop.
Exactly.
And so one thing, like you mentioned, like that, like, you know, sending photos to your friend and like trying to figure out, like, you know, how is this gonna look? Girl, my friend, my coworkers had pictures. I'm like, I don't know, should this be my logo? Should this be my profile? Like, but you've built an aesthetic with your whole business is a vibe, and it's so beautiful. And I think that in part goes back to like the customer service, because you're giving people an experience. Like I literally shifted my entire, like not my wedding ring, but like I'm always wearing gold now because I feel like, man, like she looks so confident doing it, and then when I put it on, it makes me feel confident. So then I'm like, no, girl, I feel like $1,000,000. How much? I'm like Mexican Kim K over here.
Exactly. And I think that's one of like my mission statements for GNR, is to make girls and guys, right? Because obviously I tier to anyone who wants to wear jewelry. It's not specifically for a certain demographic. It's for anyone from super young, and I've had clients as young as maybe 6 years old to even older, like in their 80s still, you know, wearing jewelry. So I really love that, like the aesthetic really does tie in, especially in social media. So presence on social media for a small business is crucial, is I think one of the biggest components that you have to your advantage into growing. Chains, they're naturally big because they're chains for a reason. So if you put a Target, it's gonna blow up because it's Target. People already know. But for small businesses, Indoor Gardens, Golden Roses, what's that? Who are they? What do they do?
You have to put the customer in it. Like
Exactly. And one thing that I really have liked to do a lot is bring them into my personal life. So even for my wedding, I wore golden roses. So that was even like a full, like, wow, I can't believe I get to wear my own jewelry for my own wedding. Like that is so cool. And a lot of my friends that attended the wedding, they were in golden roses. So it was like a full, like, oh my goodness, like my own friends are supporting my brand at like one of the most important events or days of my life. That speaks volumes. So in growing an aesthetic, it's hard, right? It's hard to really spread yourself differently from what's used to. I wanted to create an aesthetic that people don't see, that people like it, that in Laredo, how did you take that photo? Or in Laredo, like you did all that. And I feel like there's a lot of negative connotation towards Laredo, and that's very unfortunate because there's great people here, smart, intelligent, you know, hardworking. So I feel like I really wanted to bring that aspect of Laredo into it, that we're not just like basic, right?
Yeah.
Like we're up there. We
Yeah.
can be up there, especially in the business route. We're probably one of the number one business areas,
Yeah.
not only for import export, but for every other area. So, and that's a CBP fact, period. But like, period. But
I feel like I've noticed a lot more like Laredoans and I catch myself doing it like, and I feel like I thought it was because I'm a business owner, but I see like my friends and family even like, no, we want to go somewhere local. Like they'd rather like
the
no,
local
no,
community
like, I
is
wanna be local.
growing,
Yeah.
which is so good because you see that in Austin a lot. You see, if you go to Austin, there's small shops everywhere, and it's like, oh, I'm the owner. You know, they're still working.
Yeah.
It's so like fantastic to see in my perspective. So that's what I wanted to build. Like, I didn't want to just be the face of Golden Roses and then like, haha, hee hee, like, yay, that's it, bye.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm at my events, girl. I'm like, we just had that sip and paint. I was like, what's up, girl? What's up? What you drinking?
I love that, and that's the whole point, right? Like, it's the connection with the person.
To love what you love just as much, and like you, like we're plant besties in our community, like, and I feel like you've done such a good job at like even like I see you interact with your customers, and you're like, let me see, I think this one for you, and like you're even styling them, and a lot of your pieces formal to like casual wear, but you have them like feeling great, and I think that's so hard to do. But then the overall style, it's like like you're the image. Like, so when I saw you first walk in, I was like, that's her. Like, I'm so excited because I see your pictures, I see your videos, and I see that style, and then I'm like, I want to feel that. I want some of that confidence, you know?
Yeah, no, and that's so pretty that you say that because it is genuine, right? I don't want people to think like, oh, you're just putting the camera up and you're recording and like you're faking everything. Like, no, like it's real. Like, I promise. I love my brand. I will work hard for my brand. I will fight for my brand. And, you know, I am my brand at the end of the day, right? So I get styled. I do my own thing. And if I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, okay, now I know where to go. You know, you kind of find yourself doing all these random things. But I think one of my biggest helps when it comes to aesthetic is literally the inspiration that's out there on social media already, right? So obviously you don't want to copy and paste everything because that's also, I'm a very hardcore against that. Don't copy and paste from other people. It's just not classy in my eyes, right? But you do want to get inspiration from people. There's a difference. Copy and paste and inspiration are two very different concepts. So what I like to do is get inspiration. Okay, I like what Hailey Bieber did, right? I'm a huge Hailey Bieber girl. If you know, I love Hailey Bieber. I love what she's done with the brand. Obviously, like, you know, I've been a believer since since I was like 10. I love Justin Bieber. If you see this for whatever chance, I love you. Come to my 2-year anniversary. Please and thank you. Bring me a gift. $50,000. Yeah. But no, really, like I just love her image so much, and I think she's one of my biggest like style inspirations, right? So I try to like get it from celebrities that I want to like kind of portray, right? But in my own way. I'm not gonna be like, I'm Hailey Bieber now. Like, that's kind of weird. Right? I'm not Hailey Bieber. I wouldn't be here right now if I was Hailey Bieber. But I do definitely get like inspo from that. Like, I want to make it seem different, but in the Golden Roses style. Yeah. So I feel like that's really what I attribute the aesthetic to. Like,
and I think a lot of Laredo too, because like you manage to make Laredo look beautiful. Like, wherever you pop up, like you find, like you have that eye to like make something look different, and that's where people are like, is she even in Laredo? Like,
and I've gotten that so many times, and I'm like, yes, girl, like this is in Laredo. What do you mean? And like, come on, and like, come with me. And I think the aesthetic also comes with the friendships that you build with clients. So a lot of my pieces are actually named after my clients or after my friends. Yeah. So even that, they feel like, oh my gosh, like she named something after me. And I'm like, of course I did, because you're so crucial to me growing, you know, from a post, from a story, from even tagging, even telling people like, oh, I got this from Golden Roses. That means the world to me. Yeah. So incorporating that into the aesthetic, it's like a community I'm trying to build. I feel like also one of my biggest traits is humor, right? Yeah. So I love treating everyone like they're my brother, my sister, my best friend. So I'm like, right. Like even with some like friends, they'll stay, and I love, like honestly, I love the people that support me because I've seen it in action, right? That they'll stay there from the minute I open my pop-up to the minute I close, and they'll even help me put stuff away. I'm like, you don't have to, like, like that's okay. They're like, no, yes, yes, yes. And I've even become like best friends with someone, again, like another friend. I think I popped up on her TikTok with golden roses. And so she was like, oh my God, that's so cool, right? We followed each other on Instagram. She went to one. We met at one of my pop-ups. She went to one, and she was like, "Hi, I'm Victoria, right?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, Victoria, like I'm Sandra, right?" And we stayed there talking for like about an hour, and now she's one of my best friends. She went to my wedding. She's always at my house. We're always getting matcha together. I love her so much. And now like I've introduced her to like my other best friend Krista. So now we're like a trio, like ha ha ha, like we're always here. So it's just really like girls supporting girls, the community supporting the community, Laredo supporting Laredo.
That is true. Like say they were helping you like clean up and stuff. Girl, when I was at the smaller shop, not this one, we would like get here with like a van loaded of plants, and I would have customers that would come to help us unload, clean, price, like and then set it up. Dude, we'd be out there till like 11 at night. Like I could not, but and I'm like, do you want money? Like, do you want me to pay you? They're like, no, dude, we just want to like check out the plants, support you, like help you out. I still have a customer till this day that like she has her kid, I have my kids, and like it's hard like for us to like link up. But like she always catches everything Steven messes up online. She'll be like, Jacqui, you need to check Steven because he posted something wrong.
Oh, I love that.
She'll like call me out and stuff. But like she'll still call like and check in, or they'll come like, do you need help? Like they even went with me to go hand pick plants at one of my growers, and that was so much fun. Like we literally went on this like 4-hour drive together, and I was like, let's go, y'all. And then like the trip back, and we had snacks, and we just had a blast. Like, and it's just that sense of, again, they were safe enough. They felt safe in their community. And we just keep growing together.
Exactly. And I feel like it goes back to love, right? Like the love you pour out to people, that love will come back. And I've always been a firm believer in the way you treat people is the way that like they're gonna treat you.
They were my hidden angels for sure.
Honestly. And I've had clients from day one that they're like, dude, like we're golden roses, ride or dies, right? And I'm like, period. Like, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate you. No, literally, I'm like, period. I tatted my logo on me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. Shout out to Ink Me Baby. Ink Me Baby. Shout out. Yeah. No, she's so good.
We talked about her. And then you went with her? And then you just went?
No, it's because she was having she was having a flash sale for a Play More event. I believe at Chatham Media.
She's amazing.
She's so good.
She's another small business I need to get in here.
Yeah, she's honestly great. Like, she's so good.
Also with the aesthetic, she does have a vibe. She's not your typical tattoo shop.
Aesthetic. Like, I think it even like every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I need another tat.
Yeah.
I'm like, but yeah, I tatted this.
People about her, I'm like, no. She's not like a regular tattoo.
She's different.
Like
she's built an empire too. Like everyone knows her. Everyone knows her.
And we're good. But again, it goes back to like how we're saying, like you have to build something. She's built the trust of her community,
and she's so good at what she does too.
So she's got the talent, she's got the passion. She told me a little bit about her story, and it was like beyond everybody pushing her like in the industry. She still
persevered. And now she's huge. She's huge.
That
like
girl needs an entire building.
No, literally. She needs more hands so she can tattoo more people. That's what she needs. She's always booked. I'm like, girl.
I know.
But I love her. She's so cool.
But she's like, I wish her all the best.
I love that we're like shouting out all these random small businesses, but that's what it's about.
And it goes back to like, if like, we're lucky, like you said, we're blessed that we've got like our husband, our families, but there's times where that doesn't cut it. You need somebody that's like been in the thick of it with you, or like you, to be able to have that, like, organic man coffee. You saw her come in right now. She's so sweet. She like comes in and she's just like, how are things going? Like, I remember I was talking to her because there was a time where I hit a point where it was like, I have no money. Like, how am I going to like pay rent? Like, how am I gonna, like, I don't have like, just other than the inventory that I have right now, like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do anymore. And I started talking to her, and she's like, well, you're using Square. And then she starts talking to me about the Square loan.
Oh, yeah.
And I have told so many small businesses about that I've actually used it.
She told me about
it. And it is legit. I've used it. I promise you, like, you don't even feel it. And it's just kind of one of those things that, like, there's a point in your business that you're going to hit rock bottom. And if you don't hit it, it's coming. And when you do hit it and you keep going, the grass is so much greener on the other side.
For sure.
So nice. But you have to fail multiple times and like literally be at the point where you're like,
what do I do now?
Run on faith. And faith and ganas.
Literally, no, that's so real.
Todo con fe, because and shockingly enough, like, talk about manifestation, because I literally sat there, I was like, you know what I am making this month, a few months from now, I'm going to be making that in a week. I'm going to be making it in a week. I have to. There's no choice, or I'm going to shut down, and that's not an option. Yeah. And I pushed and pushed everything I could think of until one day I turned on the camera. My CPA was calling me like, Jacqui, if you do not pay the taxes by Friday, you need to shut that
You're
door.
done.
You're done. Like, you had a good try. Like, some businesses don't make it. I'm like, psh, I tried. I ain't done yet. What are you talking about? I'm not done yet.
Thank you for watching our first episode of the Business Besties podcast. Whether you need some inspo or some motivation, the Business Besties podcast will offer different perspectives from local business owners. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss out. You won't want to miss our second half with more insights from our boss babe, Miss Sandra, the owner of Golden Roses. Let's keep growing together, guys. Bye.